Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Becca. I'm a writer. I'm currently working on what I'm hoping will be my traditionally published debut novel. It's going under the name Glass Paradise, and it is a 90s East Coast autumn ghost story. And if you're not new, hi, hello. It is so good to see you again. I'm gonna keep this intro pretty brief because I have a stream with Charlie Ray at 10. It's currently a little past 9. During the stream, I'm actually gonna be working up on finishing my reread of draft 2. I only have like the last 4 or 5 chapters left or something like that. Maybe, I think it's just like the last 4. And as I am nearing the end of this read through, I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts that I want to talk to you guys about after the stream, but for right now, I'm gonna finish like tidying up the space, getting my drinks ready, and everything else that I need to lock in for like the next 2 hours. So let's have a good stream, and I will check in with you guys after. It is many hours later. It's already 6 o'clock. I have just had a very chill day. Honestly, after the stream with Charlie, I did not manage to finish my reread on that stream. That was quite ambitious. Even with only like 4 chapters left to go, I feel like that was a little ambitious, but I did get through a chapter and a half. I've spent today being very like chill and low key because yesterday I had a really tough mental health day, and I feel like I haven't had one of those in a while. So I woke up and I just like immediately felt uneasy. And mind you, there's a lot of reasons to feel like that right now. The world is a very, very scary place right now. There's some really not so great stuff happening. It's breaking my heart like quite a bit. So I just have like that mental toll. I have just like general senses of self-doubt. I was beating myself up over draft 2, and I felt like yesterday I just needed to disconnect. I wanted to start vlogging, but I was not anywhere near the mental space to be able to do that. I basically took yesterday as a mulligan, watched movies, I laid around. I feel like I haven't allowed myself the capacity to just take a break. So I did that yesterday, and today I eased into a little bit more productive things. But the stream with Charlie went great. Charlie is so sweet. That was the first time we'd streamed together, and also the first time we've actually talked like face to face, so that was really cool. I did do a little bit more reading of draft 2 just like in the afternoon, so I think I have about a chapter and a half left at this point. I am going a little bit slower just because I am making notes and annotating things, and I'm not going as hard into taking notes and marking things up as I was, I think, when I first started this reread, but I am just like slowly leaving notes for myself, like initial reactions to things, and I feel a little bit better. And I think the reason that I was kind of not feeling great about going into draft 3 was because I was already starting to put a lot of pressure on draft 3. I felt like if it was something that was going to my beta readers, that it had to be as perfect as possible because I want to get it ready to query, but I was putting way too much pressure on the draft, and I think on me, to be able to catch everything. And I need to just pick like one really big thing that I want draft 3 to do, and then pick maybe like 1 or 2 smaller things. I want to focus on the places where it's lacking developmentally. And the good thing is that I think I'm seeing those things. I know that I want to get my act 3, which is like my first 3 chapters, as polished as possible. I can start querying with that and then keep tweaking the draft as needed, but I'm not even gonna worry about that because I'm not even there yet. I think that's my problem. I am getting ahead of myself and I'm psyching myself out. I'm just trying to take it slow. I'm not very good at that sometimes. I get wrapped up in wanting to do more and go faster and make more progress. That's something that I have to really learn how to navigate. But tonight we are going to go watch How to Train Your Dragon. I'm going to just play some video games, relax, take care of myself, and then tomorrow we'll probably finish finish the reread. I have a stream with Lynn and Taylor, and so I'll probably finish it on the stream with them, or I could finish the reread before the stream and then use the stream to start working on my revision plan. Either way, we have options. I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow, but I will take you with me when we go to the movie theater. Friends, okay, so believe it or not, it's actually like a couple of hours later. It's like 6:30. I ended my stream with Lynn and Taylor around 3, I think. And then honestly, Edwin and I have just been spending time together. I feel like I am not always the best at seeing the forest through the trees. And what I mean by that is that I get really consumed with projects. Yeah, sometimes I forget to just like slow down and be present with my loved ones, and that includes my husband. So we've just been spending time together. So I have not touched the project since the stream, and honestly, I didn't even touch it during the stream. I was mainly just tinkering in my Notion, trying to start working on some of the things that I identified, which I guess I should back up and tell you how I'm feeling about the draft 2 reread. Act 2 part 2 and Act 3 are definitely stronger. The beginning half of this book is a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. I think Act 1 is a lot stronger. It's really, honestly, Act 2 Part 1. I've always really struggled with the fun and game section. I just didn't realize how much I was struggling with it. The one thing that I'm missing, as I'm noticing, as I noticed throughout the reread, was I'm missing a lot of cause and effect, and so I think that's why a lot of the emotional scenes were not hitting in the way that I wanted them to. I wrote the second draft, really, I call it a draft 2, but really it's more of a draft 1, like a cohesive draft 1. Just talked myself through the story, so now I'm identifying places where I can go back and be like, okay, this is a moment where I need to slow down and really think about what the intention of the scene is, what the moment is supposed to feel like. I also came to the realization that I need to darken the vibe a little bit. How do I explain it? It's Eden. It's the town itself. It needs to be a little bit more mystical. I think I've written it quite beautifully and quite warm and inviting, but I think it's actually just a little bit, it's not quite right. it's not quite right, and I need to play around with it a little bit. But I think I mentioned in the earlier clip that I was putting way too much pressure on draft 3 to accomplish a lot of things before I sent it off to beta readers. And so I wanted to like take a step back and really think about what I would want draft 3 to accomplish. And I think the biggest thing that I would want it to accomplish is just sort out as many of the developmental kinks as I can find. After that, I want to double check all of my scenes for cause and effect. So like I mentioned, I want to make sure that I go through as many scenes as I can to identify what actions are my characters taking that is propelling them through the story. I don't want them to just move through a plot. And then the third thing I wanted it to do was to show, not tell where possible. Also, God, okay, you can see Chris in my background because I was watching her video while I was cleaning, so just don't mind that. I feel like I have a lot of the mechanics. I'm in the right headspace and mentality when it comes to identifying things that aren't working. I think the real challenge is just going to be then going in and fixing a lot of that stuff. I think I'm at the point now where I'm ready to take just like a little bit of space away from the draft, and I think I'm going to give myself this week before I jump into revisions in earnest next Saturday to just read my craft book, read some of the other books that I have on like my TBR. This weekend has taught me to like separate from the project for a little bit, which I don't think I've been doing very well. And some people say they have addictive personalities. I don't think that's what it is. I think I'm just genuinely excited about it, so I've been working on it like crazy. And my obligations outside of this project are kind of quite minimal, so I've been able to dedicate a lot of time to it, and I've wanted to. But I do need to, as the kids say, touch grass a little bit and just like woo-saw, give myself some time to do nothing. Basically just check in with myself a little bit more frequently. But the read-through is done. I give draft 2 a score of, I think I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10, and I can work with that. I'm also trying to wrap my head around like how I want to do the actual revisions. If I want to go back into my Scrivener, if I want to edit my Word doc. I think I'm going to go back to Scrivener just to do like a split screen of like my old draft and the revisions that I'm going to be working on. I think that's going to be the easiest way to like keep track of everything. Overall, rereading my work, there were some bangers in there. There were some not so good ones in there. But overall, I can see the story starting to take shape. And I think I'm just really proud of that and learning to lean into that instead. I think this vlog is going to be a little bit shorter than I normally do. My upload schedule has also been all over the place because normally I use my weekends to catch up on like content stuff and like be ahead. I haven't been doing that. I think just because I've been craving a little bit of rest. I'm hoping to get back on track this week. So I appreciate your patience while I sort out my posting schedule. I'm in a really interesting phase with this project, and I think just with myself overall and like my creativity and everything, my anxiety has been really bad this week. I'll be so transparent, to the point where like it's manifesting a little bit more physical than it normally does. My anxiety is usually quite mental. It's a lot of like back and forth inside my head and a lot of very like cyclical arguments with myself about really asinine stuff. This past week, it's literally felt like a sharp twist in my stomach, and I haven't been able to shake it. And I want to say I don't know what it is, but I think it's just like the state of everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'm really appreciative of all of you here. If you like this video, if you like me, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That really helps out. If you want to see more of me, more of my revision process as I actually start jumping back into the draft next week, please consider subscribing to stick around. I post new videos every single Saturday at 10 a.m. That is everything I have for this week's video. Know that I am rooting for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!